Hooking up. Let's talk about hooking up, guys. All my buddies who are gay, bisexual, trans, and queer men. Some of you love it, some of you hate it. But what if hooking up was a good thing? Okay, you're like, yes, it is a good thing because I get off and I had fun. Cool. But what if hooking up was really a form of learning to love yourself and a great way to practice self-discovery? Hadn't thought about that, right? Well, here's my, I think we'll go with 5 things that I feel that are healthy about hooking up and self-discovery. Number 1, you learn what you like and you don't like. Now, it may be at the cost of somebody else in the experience. Oh, I don't like that. Oh, I really like that. He doesn't like that. You like it. Okay, that's okay. Both of you are learning about what you like and don't like, and that's a great thing about self-discovery. You can't do much on your own to some degree, right? You know what I mean by that little signal. But when you're with someone else, you're learning what you love and don't love, and now you can take that into your next experience. You may even want to do it again with that guy and go, hey, that was good. Let's do some more of this because I really like that. You like that, and bada bing, bada boom, you got a regular hookup buddy. Number 2, it brings on a lot of confidence. Why? Because, well, you break out of your barrier, you're like, okay, nobody wants me, don't want to hook up me, blah, blah, blah. And then you actually make it happen. And it gives you more confidence in your body. It gives you more confidence in your sexuality, because when you own yourself as a pleasure being, as a pleasure center, you become more comfortable in your skin. It's just a part of your, quote, DNA, because it is part of your DNA. But if you don't let it come forth and you hold it locked up, you're going to have some challenges. So hooking up can really help you become very comfortable in your own skin and confident in your own body, which also leads us, when we're confident, we can better communicate. Now, the first thing I talked about was, hey, this is what I like, don't like. Now you can better communicate about it because you've been giving yourself consent to go explore, to push yourself to the boundaries, to talk about things that you like, don't like. What are some expectations? I mean, I'm not like, here's the checklist when I hook up, but here's things I do enjoy. Now, everybody wants to enjoy, I think, for the most part. But when you work in the consent, the boundaries, the expectations, it helps you to express yourself more clearly in the hookup environment. Number 4, because it's so important to communicate if you're feeling uncomfortable about stuff, that could be a signal that there's some shame about the desires you have. If you're totally aside and you don't want any penetration and that really turns you on, please communicate it and don't be ashamed about it. If you're all bottom and that's what cranks your little booty, make sure you talk about it. Again, communication becomes part of this, but also don't let it be a shameful thing. Too often we shame people because all top, all bottom, I'm just aside, I don't want oral, blah, blah, blah. Don't shame somebody. Just understand that's their preferences, and if that doesn't work for you, then you all aren't a match. But if you figure it out while you're in the hookup, it's so much more powerful, because then when you get into a real relationship, it's much easier to discuss these things. And finally, once we have thrown the shame away for the desires and the things that we want the most, which can become a huge game changer, there's nothing wrong with having connection without long-term commitment. Most gay men, most bisexual men, most queer men, most trans men, most people in general have trouble, yes, trouble with a capital T, with connection and commitment. At least in a hookup, you get to experience the connection if you release yourself to it, and you don't have to necessarily be committed. Don't let anybody shame you into that, because we already talked about shame. Just realize I love the connection the way it is. There doesn't have to be any long-term commitment. And guess what? When you do these things, you will hook up in a smart way, shamelessly, without shame, and you will deserve to enjoy the pleasure that you are giving yourself permission to enjoy. So what do you want to work on? What's the one area you know you want? Do you need to release shame? Do you need to communicate better? Do you want to have more confidence? Re-listen to this again if you want to, but the 5 things were: know what you like, don't like, communication, confidence in your body, better ways to separate shame and desires, and then to connect without commitment. Hope you enjoyed it. Have fun hooking up.